Hey everybody, it's me, Sven Sharpen here, bringing you day number 60 of Let's Talk About Autism. Before we get started, how about you hit the like and subscribe button down below? It'll help me out a lot. But yeah, today is a very interesting day because it's a new month, and in this particular month, there's a certain cult that considers it sacred and celebrates it and does all sorts of crazy things. I mean, I'm not going to name it all here, but you can probably guess who I'm talking about. But anyway, what I'm going to describe here is they invented a hoax saying that autistic people are more likely to identify with the identities they invented. And I'm not going to explain how it got to this point because I will definitely do that in a later video, but they targeted autistics with their ideas. And for 10 years they were doing this. It built up slowly and then it probably shot straight up after COVID. And now I'm in a situation where I don't really have a community anymore. It's so bad that I can't find other autistic people just straight online like YouTube or whatever that don't pledge allegiance to this cult. I found some, of course, but most of them are detransitioners. I'll talk about them in the next few videos, of course, the next few days and couple of weeks, of course, really, because their stories are quite harrowing and definitely need to be brought up in regards to autism because half of detransitioners are on the spectrum. And they deliberately targeted us because they know we struggle. And I'll get to how in a later video this month. But what I'm going to say is it's bad enough that they invented a hoax saying autistic people are more likely to identify with those identities. And they're using it to continue justifying their targeting of autistics and arguably, for lack of a better way to describe it, committing a literal genocide against us. I mean, the abuses they're doing it makes the rest of them done by special ed and ABA and the others look pretty generous by comparison. And it's crazy. I mean, what we had up until this cult targeted us, I mean, it was bad, really bad actually, but at least we still had our families and our bodies and our faith. And then they took all of that away. They took away our faith, they took away our families, and they even took away our health and our bodies by saying that the only way for us to be happy is to pump ourselves up with these drugs and hormones and, Lupron and go through irreversible surgeries. And like, I've met some of these people and they're amazing, gifted people. They know a lot. And it's just so tragic what happened to them. And like, it makes me really sad as an autistic person myself. And again, it's so bad that I can't find peers that have my sort of values that did before. So I feel like I don't even have a community anymore, or even peers. I don't have a peers. I feel like I don't even have a voice. And that's why I make these videos, is to raise awareness about this. And that's what I'm going to do throughout this month, is to raise awareness. And I think it's going to get even worse from here, because right now we're more likely to identify with that cult and pledge allegiance to it. But eventually, and I'll probably talk about this in full in a later video, that eventually it's going to become all autistics identify with this cult, and then the systems will start treating us as if we identify with that cult. So even if we don't have such identities, they're still going to treat us as if we do. And I'll go into the full details in a later video, but it's currently we're more likely, and it's already led to problems where people will call us, they'll associate us with that cult, like in the conservative movement especially. Like, they'll associate all of autism with the leftist cult that sort of came up that celebrates this month. And it makes me as an autistic conservative like, well, wait a minute, that's not all of us. So, and then of course the other side says it's like, oh, if you're autistic, you can't possibly be a conservative, because they think we all identify with this cult too. So all across the political spectrum, this is already becoming an issue. And even within the community itself, like, you have autistics who pledge allegiance to the cult, who meet somebody who doesn't, and then they're like, wait, what, how, why, what do you mean you're not this, that, or the other thing that was invented? And this is just totally not what we are as a community. We're supposed to be our own thing, and they've completely erased certain identities. I mean, autism itself has been erased. No one celebrates our holidays, and yet everyone, at least up till this year, celebrated this. So, like, it makes me feel forgotten and neglected. And it's just it blows my mind and it breaks my heart to see my community, after being through so much, be treated even worse by somebody that claims to be helping us. And I can't, like, it's just so, words can't describe how tragic this is. I'll definitely talk about it in the next few videos, and we're gonna finish up here soon, but like, I just can't, I don't want to ramble too much, but I make these videos to save my community, and this is what I'm trying to save us from. Because I'm going to tell you, to finish this video, that if we don't stand up for ourselves and say we autistics are not a part of this cult, we will no longer exist as a community. We will not exist. I mean, they've already erased the idea that an autistic person could have a profound disability. I mean, I get it, but they exist, and we got to do something. Like, my community is unrecognizable, and it just makes me so sad, and I want to bring it back, and I want to make it better and stronger than it's ever been before. And what it means is shattering this hoax, going back to what we were like before, and using our intelligence for good instead of evil. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I want to raise awareness and debunk this hoax, because I already know it's not true. And it's not true because it wasn't for many years, and it had only happened recently because they deliberately targeted us. So that's why. It's not, that hoax that was invented is not real. It never was, and it never will be. And if the identities they come up with are innate things, then why would we autistics be more likely to associate with it? Because why would, like, that doesn't make sense. People come up with, like, oh, prenatal hormones or whatever, but come on, like, this wasn't the case for decades or even centuries before. So why would it only be happening now? And that's what I'm getting to the bottom of, and that's what I've researched over the past year. And I wrote a book. It's been on a hiatus for a while, but I will finish it eventually, maybe. I'm not going to announce release dates because I wanted to release it last year, and I never did. So, yeah, but I'll probably will finish it at one point or another. And that's really what I wanted to talk about in this video. And it's just so sad. Like, it makes the special ed stuff look like nothing by comparison. And the ABA, like, I can't even, it's unbelievable to most, but I promise you it's really happening. Like, go out yourself and try to find someone on the autism spectrum who isn't a well-known detransitioner, or who isn't me. I mean, I'm the only one you found. Try and find another one. I bet you you'll have to go through like 10 to 15 or even 20 different people just to find one. Because that's what I had to deal with. I can't find autistic content creators that don't pledge allegiance to the cult. And that's the situation we're in. And that's why I make these videos. I'm trying to build up a community of those of us that haven't been touched by it yet, or those of us who narrowly missed falling in. Like, I myself almost fell into it. I didn't, and I avoided it, but, you know, so many of my peers are going to be hurt, and they're suffering, and they've been suffering for decades. And then this cult comes in and makes it so much worse. Like, it's unthinkable. Like, this was unthinkable 15 years ago, and now, like, 4/5 of my community doesn't want to associate with what I support and what I'm talking about here. So, yeah, what I want is to be able to have a community and to be able to have friends to talk to who are similar to me. And if this cult gets its way, we won't have that. There won't be autistic people like me anymore. And that's the real threat we live under, is the threat of complete erasure. Like, you think it's bad for women? It's way worse for us. And it's just, like, I don't want that. That's arguably my biggest fear. I don't want that to happen. I don't think anyone does. No one wants us to die. They don't want us to be sucked into this cult with no way to return to health. I mean, you can return to health. It's called detransition. But you're never going to fully heal. You're still going to have permanent damage. I mean, even if your body isn't hurt, you still lost years of your life. And it's just crazy. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go into more details later this month. And I know this isn't exactly the, happiest video, but I got to address this. It's better sooner rather than later. And I hope you share this video. Share it to as many people as you know and tell them to share it to as many people as they know. I mean, like, if we're going to raise awareness, we got to go viral. I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I got to do something. And I've been doing that for a year. I'm working with parental groups. I'm working with as many people as I can to start up a new organization that won't pledge allegiance to that cult and that will help autistic people for what we actually need. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And again, I know this wasn't the happiest video, and I'm going to end it here. And I'll talk about this more in the next few days and weeks. But all I'm saying is, if you know someone who's autistic, please, like, tell them they are loved just the way God made them. Because if they don't feel that way, they're going to get sucked in, and it's going to be almost impossible to get them out. We tend to fixate, so once we're in, it's basically over. I mean, not over, but it's going to take you a long time to get out of. So that's what I'm addressing here. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you watched it this far, I really appreciate it. I mean, you have no idea how much I appreciate it if you watched all the way and listened carefully to what I'm talking about here, because it's tragic, and I want the whole world to know about this. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. This was day 60, and I'll see you on day 61 when I talk more, and I'll probably be talking about one of the detransitioners I've met online, because tomorrow's his birthday, so I'll talk about him. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on day 61. Goodbye.